Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a portal by using Unity VFX Graph. This portal I created a few hours ago and a lot of people like it. I posted it in social media, in Reddit, in Twitter, and everybody just gave me a lot of thumbs up about the effects. So I want to go into the details about creating something like this from scratch. I am going to work in Unity and show you all the different details that go into doing that. So let's jump into Unity and start working on it. Alright guys, so let me show you how I created the portals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new scene. So let me just clone one of these scenes. We'll clone the fire scene. And this one I'm just going to call it portals. And let's just double click it. And then it's going to open this up. And I don't need any of the other elements on the bottom. In fact, I'm going to delete the wood components, and I don't need the base. And I don't need the wall either. Perfect. And we're just going to call this one the portal. Let's just call it portal _1 because I'm going to create multiple versions of the portal because I want to show you different, different colors, different settings. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pull a file that I already have, that I already created, and I'll walk you through what I did. Now let's go into portal, and this portal 1, I'm going to rename it to portal _1 as well. And I'm going to associate the asset template to that. Excellent. And you can see that we're starting to see some really cool effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just zoom in, and I'm going to align the camera to a level that I want to see it kind of like that. Maybe a little, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, perfect. Then what I'm going to do is on the main camera, we're going to, let me stop the simulation. Perfect. And go into the main camera. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do align with view. Perfect. We should see, that simulation now. Excellent. So let me show you how I did that. So I'm going to click on edit on the portal. And let it load. It should load the visual effects graph, and it did. Perfect. So, and I'm just gonna do it. Let me just snap it in place, and let me put it on the side so we can see everything better. And we don't need the hierarchy there or the project there. There we go. So that's much better. And I'm just gonna zoom out, and this I'm gonna put on the bottom there. And we can resize some of these, actually move some of these so that we can see everything that I did to make it work. So this is the particle system the layout that I have. So if I go to the hierarchy and click on it, let's make sure that we have that game object selected so that when we make changes to this, it actually applies right away. So I don't have many particles on this one. Well, I have 25,000 particles on the rate. The capacity is set to 3748. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So as far as like the bounds, I didn't change anything. All I did was I set the size to 5, 1, and 5. Then the lifetime random, I have it set to from 0 to 1.8. You're more than welcome to change some of these settings. The position, I set it to be torus with the volume, and I did the span mode to randomize. So a lot of these things, I honestly changed as I was, looking at it, and that's honestly how I do most of the particle systems. I tweak settings, I go back and forth. So if I go here and I make a change on the radius, you can see that it's starting to change the look of it. So I'm just gonna undo. And the same thing with the minor radius. So if you change the minor radius, kind of see how that is affecting the outer, kind of like the outer bound. So you can play with some of those. So because the position is a torus, is actually creating a torus, which is what I wanted for this particle system. So all of this is happening in the initialize. Then what's making the particles kind of go inside, it's basically this component. So on the update, you want to make sure that you set it to for sign distance fields, and to do that you basically have to just create a block and then just change, you can search for comfort, and this is the one that I set. So this is the one that is give you the options that I have right now. Because I did that, I'm not gonna do it again. So by default, it's gonna give you the distance field of sign distance field. So that's gonna be pre-configured. Then on the field transform, I set the center to 0, 0, 0, the angle to 0, 0, 0, the size I have it to 1, 1, 1. And like I said again, if you want to change some of these settings, you're more than welcome to change all those settings. And if you look at the attraction speed, you can kind of see if I change this, it's actually going to start changing in real time. So let me make sure that I have this selected and going here, and you can kind of see that now. If you don't have it selected, it's not going to change. So you can kind of see how by making those changes, I'm getting some really cool changes on the portal. Also on the attraction speed, if I change it to a negative number, kind of like the opposite. So let's set it back to what I had it. Then the stick distance. So if I set it to, let's go anything. Let's see. Let me do. There you go. A low number there, or you can make it. So that's creates a really cool effect. And the stick force, you can do the same thing. Just play with those numbers. These were the numbers that work well with me. So if you want to just match those, and don't worry about like getting every single little thing, because I'm not only I have it in a video, I'm also going to be posting this in GitHub for you to to clone and download, just like I've been doing with every other particle. All right. So the next thing is also very important. I have the lead mesh output set, and I have it to alpha pre-multiply. The UV mode is set to simple. I'm using soft particles, and the mesh is really important because I want it to be more of a pixelated kind of look. And if you're if you want to do a different look, you can do either you can do cubes, which you can kind of see that we're kind of getting a three-dimensional shape in there. You can also do a capsule if you wanted to, a cylinder. And then, and so on, a plane, a sphere, and then I'm going to stay with the quad. Then you can change some of these settings as well. I didn't touch any of these. In fact, I also, on the base color map, they're welcome to change that as well. So if you have a different color map that you want to set, then you're welcome to do that. I basically just did the default checker, and that, that seemed to give it a really cool look. And on the size of the particles, if you change the particle size, if you want it to be very fine, if you want it to be very big, then that's obviously going to affect performance. But mine is set to, we just go back to 0.13. That works well. Then the orientation is along the velocity, so you can kind of see that it's following the velocity of the particles. And then this is the cool part. It's a small part, but it actually makes a big change. So you can kind of see at the beginning I have kind of a blue, and then I go to dark black, which is kind of around this area, and then I go to kind of a little purple, and then red, and then at the very end I did a light gray because I wanted to make it look like they were, they are disappearing, but I wanted to change the alpha value in there as well. So that's really what you need to do to make the particle system that I have here. So what I want to do next in this same video is I want to add another particle system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a portal, but I want to do a portal with different color. So the first thing that I'm going to do is let me just change my camera so that I can fit multiple particle systems in there, multiple portals. So I'm going to go and change the alignment, and let's see. So that actually, let's do something like this. So select the main camera and then go to, like I did before, game object, and then align with view. There we go. Then I have the portal there. Let's just put another portal here and maybe another portal here. So I'm going to clone portal 1 with, obviously portal 2. And let's just align it, and then we'll assign different particle systems to those. And we'll do, let's see, let's actually rotate this one so that we can see, there we go, something like that works fine. Alright, something like that. If we go back to game, let's go back to camera, inspector, and change the field of view just a tiny bit. There we go. So we can see. And then maybe the Y value, let's just change it a tiny bit. Okay, perfect. So we have more room to put another one right here. And so let's go and clone 2 and let's call it number 3. And then this one I'm gonna put, so what I'm gonna do instead of cloning that, I'm gonna clone this one so that I don't have to figure out the position. So let's just do that one more time. And then this one's gonna be portal 3. And that way I can just move it up. And let's see, perfect. And maybe let's move it back a tiny bit. And there we go. And I'll just scale it just a tiny bit more so we have room. Let's just move it a little bit to the right. Okay, I think that works. Let me just move it a little bit more. Okay, perfect. So we have one right here. Let me just see the scaling. It's okay. There we go. Just make it so that it looks better. I'm very picky when it comes to look and feel of things. So okay, so I'm happy with that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to project, and now I'm gonna clone the visual effect itself. So I'm gonna do, you know, a number 2, and then I'm gonna do a number 3. And then what I'm gonna do, once I've done that, I'm gonna go to hierarchy, and then for number 2, I'm gonna assign it, you know, the number 2. And then I'll do the same thing with number 3, and then assign it number 3. Perfect. So now each of them have an independent visual effect. So if I change this one, it doesn't change that one, and if I change this one, it doesn't change, you know, one of the other ones. So let's start with number 2, and let's go to edit. And what I'm gonna do on this one is I'm gonna make a few changes so you can see that how easy it's gonna be to, you know, just get different looks to your particle system. So number 2, it's gonna be this one right here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change, you know, some of the colors possibly. We can do maybe like a, I don't know, maybe like a yellowish type color, or maybe even a white. Let's just give it a white color there. And then let's see. Then on this one we can do, I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do. Let me just find one that I like, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, let's just do all yellow. And then at the end here we'll do, you know, maybe another strong yellow. I like that. And then the gray, you know, we can either make it, let's see. Okay, I like that. Maybe a little bit of a red at the end, make it look cool. So you can kind of see that with just those few changes, we're getting, you know, we're getting a different look and feel for the portal. Then if I change the attraction force, we can make the circle be, you know, the particles in at a much, you know, inner area. And let's see, we can even do something like this, something crazy like that, or and make it explode. I think I'm gonna stick with that, maybe even just a little bit less. Okay, cool, I like that. Now, I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to do on that one. Then on number 3, I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's just edit number 3. And maybe number 3, let's see. So we'll do something similar to it. Let's see, on number 3, let's see what I feel like doing on that one. Just want something that stands out. How about a green? Green stands out. And then green there. Let's give it another. Let's give it more green. And perfect. And then on the blue, let's just change that to be, oh, there we go. That looks cool. More of a white, so it's really bright. And then in this area, I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm liking the green. I like the green there. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That looks really cool. And then let's see, at the end, we can possibly add another color so it's not that boring. And yeah, like I was saying, this takes just, you know, a few changes and setting changes. Okay, I'm happy with that. let's see, let's change this screen a tiny bit more, make it a little darker. Okay, excellent. And you can see that, you know, just with those changes we're just getting a lot of variation. So the other thing that I want to do is I want to show you the post-processing effects that I have set up here. And now we can just resize this piece and then focus on the inspector here. And I have a bloom enable. Let's just go into it and possibly change the bloom a tiny bit more. And we gotta be careful because this effect right here is affecting all the other scenes. So what I'm gonna do, let's just undo that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new profile, and in this profile, let's see, I have that enabled, and let's go back to project and look at our, let's go to scenes and then main camera. We have portals, profile, and then VFX2. So the way that this works is everything that you click on new, it creates a new folder with the name of the scene that you're on. So for VFX2, that's for the other scene. So we can actually just call this one other profiles, and then portals is gonna be the one that we're on. So, but I don't want to have to recreate what I did on other. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to delete the one that we just created. And I'm all about, you know, cloning and recreating things and not having to create things from scratch because it takes a lot of time to do that. Obviously that doesn't happen all the time, but for the most part I try to do that. And okay, so then I just kind of rename it. Let's go back to our main camera inspector and then click on this little magnifier. And let me close it really quick here just to make sure that I'm clicking. Okay, it's actually the profile and the post-processing. And we have two. So, but we can see the path right here. So the one that we want to select is the one that is called portals. You can kind of see that now I'm getting the bloom. And I clone it, so I have most of the same settings already set. So on this one I wanted to crank up the bloom because it really gives it a really cool effect. See, even if I do that, that's just way too much. Let's just do that right about there. I think I'm happy. Let's see, I think it's too strong. Let's go about 8. So 8 gives it a really cool look. And I think that's everything that I wanted. Let me see what this error is. It's gonna clear that. And I think that wraps it up. So let me just check in those changes, and then so that you have them right after I finish this video. So I'm just gonna do a git add because I'm using source control for this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna close the scene completely, or just save project so that I save everything, and then we'll just do git add one more time, and then we'll just do a commit and then add it portals for a new video. And then I just checked it in and push it. So by now you should have that available through GitHub. So that's everything that I wanted to cover in this video, guys. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned, let me know through the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because that's what's going to allow me to create, you know, more videos like these or better videos like these. So thank you very much, and let me know if you have any comments. Thank you.